Hey Taurus, it's your girl D with 8th House Energy here to bring you another weekly read for the month of July. I hope all is well with my Taurus Massive, that you guys are staying germ-free, sucker-free, and doing what you can to, keep yourself cool, collected, and safe during this summer. But still enjoy your summer at the same time. It's challenging, but, try to look at the beauty in everything. But moving on. I appreciate all the love and support you guys give to the channel. Thank you so much for all that you do for 8th House Energy. You are appreciated. There will be an extended to the video. The link is going to be in the box below. We're going to start off with the the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. Alright, we're going to get an overall message, and then we're going to pull from the Mystic Monday Tarot to go into a little bit more detail, and then we'll go into the extended. So this is not going to resonate with every Taurus or every placement of Taurus. So please take what does resonate and leave the rest. Okay, you may need to switch the roles. So please do that as need be. If you need to reach out to me for a personal reading, information's in the box below. Alright, Taurus, what do we got going on for you? We need 2 more cards for Taurus. One more for Taurus. Okay. So, we got 5 cards that we're going to look at here. The first card represents the current situation. And that card is, I'm going to be using the book for this too, because this is a brand new deck for me. Well, I've had it for about a year, but I've been called to use it for the readings this week, so I'm just getting familiar. So this card here is the 8 of fire. I'm sorry, 8 of water. Okay, so this is the current situation. So let's take a look and see what the 8 of water is talking about. See if it's related to the 8 of cups in any way, or if there's some other messages involved with that. But this is basically surrender. This is about surrendering, about releasing. Okay, it's about surrendering to the flow of life, relinquishing the need to control. All that happens as it is meant to be. The future will bring you what you need, not what you want. So this is a card that talks about you not being in control of things. Even though we try our best to control what's going on around us, especially fixed sign energies, we have to understand that there's only but so much control that we have. And a lot of times we have problems as fixed sign energies, letting go of things that no longer serve us, because we want to figure it out and how to fix it, or we've gotten comfortable with it, so we just roll with it. So this is here talking about release, letting go of things that really no longer serve you. We're in this full moon energy and lunar eclipse energy with the moon in Capricorn. So that talks about letting go of especially people that no longer serve us, but also ideologies in reference to our morals and our values, because that's what is ruled in the house of Capricorn. So letting go of old, outdated ideas that don't work for us anymore. The times are changing now. We're all under, globally, a shedding of the skin is what I call it. Old ideas, old views, even old policies as far as because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Saturn rules government, it rules authority. So all of these things are changing. So as a result, we are going to have to change. We are changing. We have no choice but to change. And so it's good to understand this, because then you won't be so resistant to, the changes that are occurring. You won't be resistant in a sense where you won't understand why. You understand that the world is changing, the globe is changing, so your ideologies and the things that you look at and see and feel are going to change as well. Not that it's going to make it any easier, but as far as the processing of it, you'll better understand why you're experiencing what you're experiencing, so that it should not be as difficult as in, okay, well, something's just changing and that's not it. And when it's not, and I'm not happy with it. You know what I mean? So I'm going to fight it because I don't want to change. some things you don't have to change, but there are some things that you do, and sometimes it's just a matter of perspective, okay, and how you look at things, or it's just expanding on the belief that you have. You may not have to change the belief in total. You may just have to change it in reference to how you use it. So, for example, I was taught, treat people the way you want to be treated. I was taught that at a young age. But what I've come to understand in my experience is that you treat people accordingly. So if they treat you with respect, then you give them respect. If they don't, then you just stay away from them, or you check them if you have to deal with them. But you don't have to tolerate that, and you're not going to treat someone nice all the time who's treating you like shit. No, there's a line you have to draw, and you have to let them go. So it's just adjusting your mental, based on the foundations you have, just adjusting those things so that they benefit you moving forward. Right? So the challenge in that change is abundance. Okay? So this is all about consciousness, giving and receiving. It's energy, it's love, it's appreciation. It's feeling a state of plenty. So some of you are afraid of losing control or changing because you feel that your abundance is going to be affected in some way, shape, or form. You feel that whatever change it is that you're going to have to give up in some way, shape, or form, it's going to take away from your abundance, your state of happiness, your contentment, your joy. Some of you are feeling as if, okay, if I have to give this up and let this go, I get the sense that some of you are just holding on to things because you don't want to let them go. It could be because these things are things that you felt brought you abundance and joy, but the struggle in it all is that you're realizing that that's not the case. So for some of you, you realize you're not happy, but you just don't know how to let go because you've been holding on for so long, and this is what you've been trained to believe. So this is where you come into looking at why you believe what you believe. This is what the moon in Capricorn talks about as well. Your morals and values. Why is this important to you? Why do you feel this way? Just take a hard look at what you're thinking and why you're thinking it. And then use the Neptune energy in retrograde to remove the rose-colored glasses behind how you were looking at things to see it for what it really is. And that's what growth and abundance is all about. As far as us being adults, sometimes a lot of people think, okay, well, when I'm grown, I know everything now. But that's not true. As an adult, you're constantly ascending, you're constantly learning, and you're constantly changing your mindset. And there's nothing wrong with looking at something, an ideology or mentality, and saying, okay, that is no longer serving me. That is outdated. Let me change my perspective now because I've been introduced to new experiences or new information that is telling me to do so. See, when you fight that, that's cognitive dissonance. Fighting the fact that, okay, additional information or proof has been given to me to let me know that the way that I was thinking and the way that I was looking at things is outdated or it's no longer accurate. But yet I refuse to change just because of the fact that I have to change. So this is where a lot of people fall victim. So you may feel that the way that you think and the way that you view things may be putting you in a situation where, okay, if I have to change my view, it's going to change the abundance that's coming into my life. And the universe is saying that that's not right. It's not right at all. It's not the right way to look at it. So the next card here is what your spirit guides, guardian angels, and ancestors want you to keep in mind in reference to your concern. And that is the Three of Water. Okay? So here's the Three of Water card. These are beautiful cards. So let's take a look and see what the Three of Water talks about here in reference to this change. So with the Three of Water, we're talking about satisfaction, pleasure, joy, hopefulness, anticipation. It talks about attachment, expectation, and disappointment in the reverse. So it came out for you in the upright, okay? Which is good. So as far as this card is concerned here, the universe is saying that, this card represents the fact that you have come to a time to rejoice in your life and your success. So some of you, you're doing really well, despite what you think is going on. This card is about positive affirmation, and it symbolizes the joyous potential for a rewarding outcome. It also signifies the importance of taking time to appreciate, celebrate, and enjoy yourself along the way. Look back and be proud at what you have accomplished, and do a little victory dance before turning once more to the future with a heart full of hope and a smile upon your lips. And it's also important to allow yourself these moments of joy and celebration and to remember them. So for some of you, it's all about looking back at the memory. Some of you may have experienced a loss in some way, and this loss is very challenging for you. In reference to the midst of change that we're all going through, some of us have lost friends, family members, jobs, things that were very important to us, and that served as staples in our lives for a period of time. And so the universe is saying, you can look back at those memories, and you always have the memories. No matter what changes, you always have the memories. Those can never be taken away from you. So, relish in those memories. When you start feeling down that, things are changing and are not the way they used to be, or these people are no longer here, just look at the memories that you had with them, and that should at least bring a smile to your face. Now, it's not going to cure everything and make everything better, but try to focus on the positive of the experience in total is what this message is about here. So the next thing we're going to look at is where your head is at. So we have the Eight of Fire. Now it came out in reverse for you, but I'll show it to you upright. This is where your head is at. So with the Eight of Fire coming up in reverse, this card is all about action, transformation, transmutation, birth, freedom, renewed. So some of you are in a process where you're stuck in your transformation. You're stuck because you're not able to let go. Because you're feeling as if when you let go, you're losing something. But the universe is saying that you're not losing anything. The memories that you have are always going to be there, and they can never be taken away. So when this card shows up in reverse, it says, don't halt your own progress or hamper your growth at this time, even if you feel a bit lazy or apathetic. Be your own advocate rather than your own enemy, and challenge yourself if you find yourself unwilling to act. The Eight of Fire reverse speaks to us when we are experiencing either lazy mind or body, as it serves as a reminder that there may well be consequences if necessary changes are not made, and that those consequences will be for our own making. So if you have become a perpetual planner who never follows through, or if you always promise and then fail to deliver, or even if you just feel as if it's too much, like hard work, the Eight of Fire reverse appears to warn you that inaction is also a choice, and one that can have dire consequences. Now is the time to get up and move, to avoid having your life transformed in a manner that is not to your liking. So what this is telling me is that there's change for sure going on in your life, but you are being inactive about it. You refuse to change. Okay? Some of you, it could be because of abundance. It could be because of finances. So for example, some of you could be in relationships with people, places, or things, or have a mentality that is attached to abundance. And the situation is not in your best interest. You know it's not, but you refuse to let go because you don't want to let go of the abundant aspect of it. Because maybe you feel as if you can't get it somewhere else. You can't manifest it yourself. But the universe, the energies around you are pushing you to let this go. And some of you are fighting. The energies that are coming to you to let this go come in the form of disagreements, arguments, frustration, aggravation with the situation itself. But yet you refuse to let it go. Okay? So this is what the universe is saying here. This is your refusal to let this go. And what's going to happen is this card is warning of a tower moment. Tower moments come when we don't listen to our intuition. Our intuition is giving us nudges. You need to move away from this situation. Move away from this person. Move away from this job. Move away from this town. Whatever it is it's telling you to move away from, it's giving you signs and symbols. But you're either ignoring them or you refuse to act on them. And as a result, that's when tower moments occur. And a major change comes that you have no control over. And it's usually for your good, but you don't see that in the beginning because it just rips everything away from you. Some of you know you need to change. Some of you are totally oblivious. Now, everybody's at different ascension levels. So it's up to you to figure out what's going on in your life, what's not working, and what it is that you need to change. Now, the outcome here is the Four of Earth. And I'll show you that card here. So this is the Four of Earth. So this is the outcome. This is your energy, Four of Earth. Okay? So this talks about commitment, stability, reliability, steady progress, endurance, perseverance. Okay? This is saying, okay, rest up, look at what you got to do, but get up and then take charge. Okay? And it says take your time, don't rush, don't think that you have to, do everything right away. But you do need to start making plans to do what it is that you need to do. You know that change needs to be done. So start, for some of you, you may be being lazy about it, or you may be resisting it because it's a large change that has to take place. And you may not know where to begin. And so as a result, you don't. Or for some of you, it's a large change that has to take place. You get to planning and then you get sidetracked, or you just quit for whatever reason. But we have to stay consistent. We have to stay vigilant. So this is what your message is here, okay? So things that you can do is just take one step at a time. Plan things. This is what this card talks about. It's like, okay, you have to have commitment. You have to be committed to the change. You have to be stable. You have to be reliable. You have to show steady progress. It's going to take endurance for you to do this. You have to watch for careless errors. Don't make hasty decisions that are going to set you back, which will put you in a position where you're like, forget it, I tried, it just didn't work. But it's like, all it is about planning. So the message is that there's changes that need to be made. Some of you are putting off the change because you may not know where to begin, or because you're just not planning. Okay? So it's very important that you figure out what you need to do, put a plan in place, get some paper, write it down, figure out what you need to do, write the steps that you need done, get a planner, put them in a planner, and follow your planner. Some of you who are good with planners, that's something that I'm working on myself as a fellow. I have a moon in Capricorn, so I'm a fellow earth sign as well. So, these things work for me as far as planning too. So let's get into the actual situation in which change needs to occur here and see what messages Spirit has for you. So we're going to clarify all of that with the Mystic Monday Tarot deck. And we're going to do a Celtic cross. So what's the current situation with Taurus right now? So we have the Nine of Wands in reverse. Okay? With the Nine of Wands in reverse energy, this is an energy of surrendering, giving in. Okay? Because when it's upright, this is all about blocking. It's all about guarding. It's all about, okay, well, I did A, B, C, and D. I don't know what else to do. But it could be you did A, B, and C to block the change. So now with this in reverse, you're accepting the fact that a change needs to be made. And so now you're trying to figure out what it is that I need to do to make that change. So what kind of positive or negative energies are showing up in reference to you making this change? So we got the Four of Swords in reverse. Anxiety. Some of you anxiety. Some of you not speaking up. Okay, with the Four of Swords energy here. Some of you, it's just like the thought of having to make the change it makes you very uncomfortable, is what I'm getting here for a lot of you. With the Four of Swords energy here, this is Jupiter in Libra. Jupiter is all about expansion and growth, but when it's in reverse, you're not expanding, you're not growing. So the situation is not changing and it's making you anxious. So this is why you're saying, okay, I have to do something because this is still bothering me, right? And so now with the Four of Cups, yeah, like I said, it's still bothering you. You're unfulfilled with the situation. So you need to make changes, and you're accepting that now. So what happened in the past here? What happened in the past for Taurus? Way too many. What happened in the past? Okay, so what happened in the past, Taurus, with the Three of Cups reverse? So this could represent, with the Three of Cups in reverse energy, this is an energy of perhaps falling out of friendship or dealing with people, places, and things that really are not advantageous to your come up. Fake friends is what I get when I think about the Three of Cups in reverse. Being around people who are not good for you, people who put you in environments where you're not really focused on your goals. You may be focused more so on partying, gossiping, having fun, things like that. And with the Knight of Swords in reverse under the deck, This is telling me that, a lot of bad talk, a lot of gossip, a lot of negative energy, just, not good communication at all is what I'm feeling here. With this Three of Cups in reverse energy, I also feel as if this is about, people's moods and emotions and feelings, trying to maybe cope with them via drinking. A lot of you may be, tapping into that type of energy. Again, hanging around the wrong crowd, trying to pacify your feelings because you know that there's something going on. You're very anxious. You know a change needs to be made, but you may be afraid to make the change because you don't know what the outcome is going to be. So you're a bit frustrated about it. So a lot of you are having problems with really expressing yourself or talking about what's going on, and you're not talking about it. You're drowning yourself in escapism, okay? Which could be any type of drugs, alcohol, being around, people who will occupy your mind with other things other than what you need to be doing, These types of things you're doing to pacify, but it's still, even at the end of the day when you walk away from these things, the issue still occurs. The issue still needs to be addressed. So what happened in the recent past? So I'm getting that maybe in the recent past you realized this and you changed your perspective on things. Okay, so yeah, we have the Hanged Woman in reverse. So this is major arcana, Neptune in retrograde. So basically what happened was those rose-colored glasses fell off because that's what Neptune in retrograde does, and it shows you the reality of the situation. Like I said, you can pacify yourself with the anxieties. You can pacify yourself with drinking, knowing that things need to be changed and you're not doing anything, but it needs to be changed, so you're not at rest mentally. So you're doing things to try to cope with that. But, recently you realize that that's not helping. The problem is still there. This is not resolving anything. All right. And with the Princess of Pentacles in the reverse here, some of you, it could just be that it's about money. Okay. It's a money situation. Like I said, with the first spread that we did with the Gaia Tarot, the Dreams of Gaia, a lot of you are in situations or relationships where it's a financial benefit to be here. And the relationship is not working, and you've been holding on to it, and it's not been working for years for some of you, okay? And you refuse to let go. You refuse to because you're comfortable with the financial aspect of it. But now when Neptune is in retrograde here, Neptune is now in retrograde. Neptune, when it's in retrograde, it shows you the reality of the situation. So you have no choice but to look at the reality of the situation and accept it for what it is. The rose-colored glasses about, the money, and that's all gone now. You realize that don't even matter no more. It doesn't even matter anymore. And where your head is at, as far as the crowning energy, this doesn't even turn you on anymore. You have no interest in this situation anymore with the Princess of Wands in reverse. Zero interest in it. It does nothing for you anymore. And you know this, but yet you're still fighting, leaving with the Five of Swords. The situation does nothing for you. It didn't do anything for you for a while. It was just the financial stability and the comforts and how people saw you and things like that. So what's going on with your future? What are you going to do about this? What are you going to do about this, Taurus? So what I'm showing you're going to do is some of you are going to end up leaving this situation with the Four of Wands in reverse. Some of you realize you got to move. You got to go. You've got to get out of this relationship. You've got to relocate. You got to find a place to go. You got to find a place to stay. This relationship is over. It's been over for a lot of you. But you've been fighting it. You've been fighting it for a very long time. Yeah, see, Two of Cups underneath the deck. Some of you, you have someone else that you should be with. I've been getting this storyline for Taurus for a while now. Some of you, as far as your karmic journey and your karmic, you're with your karmic right now. Some of you have been married to your karmic for years. And people are under the false pretense that, because we're married, that's my twin flame. Because we're married. That does not mean that that's your twin flame. That means that's someone you married. Okay? Universal law versus 3D law. Okay? 3D law, you married this person. That doesn't mean they're your twin flame. Universal law is what tells you who your twin flame is. Okay? And if the universe felt that you needed to be with this person, if you were with them for years, you would not separate from them. Usually when twin flames or divine masculine and feminines meet, they're with each other for a short period of time and then they separate because there's lessons that need to be learned, and then they come back together. They're not usually together for 10, 20 years at a time and then they separate. Now, it could be rare situations where that happens. I'm not saying that's not possible. But usually when you meet your divine counterpart, you guys are with each other for a short period of time and then you separate because there's lessons you still have to learn. You're not together for years and years and years. Like that usually doesn't happen too often that I've seen. But I ain't seen it all. But just letting you know. Because some people feel like, oh, well, I got married to this person. This is my twin flame. I hear people talk about that all the time. Well, he's my divine counterpart. He's my twin flame. No, he's your karmic. How long have you been having problems in a relationship? Just stop and look at it. If you've been in a relationship and you've been having problems consistently on and off for years, like relationships usually are not that difficult. This is what the problem is with people. They don't understand that. Oh, well, there's always work that has to be done in a relationship. It's hard. And then, yeah, there's issues. But if you're constantly fighting with a person, constantly arguing, constantly bickering, there's never no peace, and it goes on for years, to the point where you're drinking and doing all sorts of things, doing whatever you can to stay away from this person and to get out of this situation. When are you going to take the rose-colored glasses off and realize this relationship is over? Some people are brought into your life via marriage for you to have children with them, and that's it. They're meant to be the mother or father of your children, and that is it. And some people just don't understand that. When the relationship starts to fall apart, that's when it's time to go. Yeah, you put in a little work, but you've been putting in work for years and it's still not working. It's time to go. And then your fears, you're afraid to take action towards self-love. You're afraid, okay? For some of you, this is you. Afraid to take action toward using your intuition to love yourself. How does this person see you? How do people see you? Okay, we have temperance energy here. Major arcana energy, Sagittarius energy. So on the outside, people see that everything is well with you all. And that's part of what is difficult for you to let go of. Is because you're looking at how other people see you, your reputation. See, we got the Nine of Pentacles in reverse underneath the deck. But on the inside, you're really not happy with this relationship. On the inside, you really want to be single. You don't want to be in this relationship. So a lot of you are walking around with a facade. Okay? But again, Neptune in retrograde takes that facade away. The rose-colored glasses come off. And if not externally, definitely internally. You realize you don't want to be here. You realize that there is no spark here. A lot of you are not even being intimate with your partner. You're just there for the financial convenience. What's in your hopes? Or your partner's with you for the financial convenience. Switch the roles as need be. It's a general read, okay? What's in your hopes? So we got the Three of Pentacles. So you want support. This is what you want, financial support. Some of you need your friends to talk to. You need real friends, not these people. These are not real friends. These are people who gossip about you. They know your situation. They talk shit about you when you're not around. They try to keep you drunk or, under the influence. This could be the person that you're with. They could be putting things in your drink, keeping you stuck. And you're going mentally bonkers because you don't realize what's going on. But some of you now do. Some of you realize you were dealing with karmic situations where your partner was doing things to keep you around. Whatever they were doing. Feeding you whatever, giving you whatever. Okay? Hierophant in reverse. Hierophant upright here. Okay? Some of you realize now what was going on. You tapped into your higher self. You started watching tarot cards. You started getting readings. And you realize that this person was doing things to keep you around. That's why you were never happy. This is why a lot of you don't even have sex with your partner now. You're seeing people outside of your marriage because you're not meant to be with this person. You're not meant to be with this person. Some of you are serial cheaters in your marriage because you're not meant to be with this person. You have no desire for this person. Spiritually, you have no desire for them. They're there for a matter of financial convenience. And that's all they are to you. What's the outcome here for Taurus? We have the Eight of Cups. Eventually you're going to walk away because you know what time it is. You're accepting this reality now. Okay? No longer can you fight this. Overall energy on the deck is Eight of Swords reverse. You have clarity now. You figured out what was going on. Some of you, you had, you weren't following your intuition, because this is a card to me about following intuition. All right. So you finally are listening to your higher self, and you're finally realizing you got to get out of this situation. It's no good for you. So what we're going to do in the extended is we're going to clarify this information here, see what we need to do or what steps you can take as far as planning to get yourself out of the situation. Is it that you don't have money? Do you need support? You're hoping for financial support? Is it that? Or do you just need your friends or somebody to talk to help you put a plan in place? What is it that you need to get out of this situation? You know you don't want to be here. You know you're not happy. You know it's over. So now what steps do you need to take to get out of this energy? All right. So we'll go to the extended. We'll figure that out. If this resonated with you guys, let me know. If I don't see you in extended, I'll see you in the next reading. Peace out, Taurus.